More pig damage, but what's got me worried is that we don't have all the pigs caught. This is absolutely one of my favorite things to do. What is up, everybody? I am Ty. Welcome back. If you're new here, this is Wallace Family Farm Outdoors. My wife and I are raising our sons in Oklahoma, along with some cows and dogs and pigs and chickens and all kinds of stuff. So when we left you guys last time, we were trying to set this brush pile on fire. Well, it burned pretty good. Probably just gonna keep adding to it, keep adding our cardboard boxes we all get from Amazon to it, and burning everything we need to burn back here to get all cleaned up. We need to start this week by going and putting out hay for the cows and checking on them, so we're gonna hop in the tractor and head over there. For all you equipment people out there, we've got a 2020 M7060 Kubota cab. Love it. As I've said before, my only regret, I wish I would have went a bigger tractor so I could have gotten a buddy seat and maybe one day gotten into hay or doing something like that. I don't know really what we could do with this tractor. Maybe one day we'll do like a square bells here on our place with the creek that runs through it. But I don't know that I could ever do round bells with this tractor. So when we bought it, it was 2020. The world was seemingly totally different. Prices were definitely a lot lower back then, and I wish that I would have just bitten the bullet, went a little bit bigger, maybe bought a 91 instead of a 75, and it would have given me my buddy seat that I would love to be able to haul around our boys, and maybe a little bit more capability. But I've seen some videos now with the new tractors are just so loaded with technology, it's almost like driving a car. They've got the digital screens and all that stuff, so that's a little scary, but we're gonna hit the road, grab a couple bales of hay and haul them over to where our cows are and check on them. So we have a Kubota tractor, we have a Kubota skid steer, and we have a Kubota mower. My only complaint so far with Kubota, the radio. I don't know why, but every now and then the radio doesn't want to work. The radio in our skid steer works, but the speakers don't put out sound. We bought the tractor new, but we bought the skid steer used, and that was an issue that came with it. So one day we're gonna have to get it looked at. I don't know what's going on with my tractor radio. Just every now and then it doesn't want to work. Sometimes you pop it off and pop it back on there and it'll start working, but it's a little bit annoying when you want to listen to something over your phone and it doesn't work. So that's kind of one of those first world problems. There's a lot bigger things to complain about. Very thankful for having a cab period, or having a tractor period, when we went about 5 years of not even having a tractor when we first got cows, and at times it was extremely frustrating trying to put out hay with a hay dolly hooked to whatever vehicle you have at the time, and then you're getting stuck and don't have anything to pull yourself out. So we're very thankful. Pulling up to where we're taking our hay, rocking out to some Turnpike Troubadours. Fun fact, Turnpike Troubadours have a very heavy presence in the little town Kirsten and I are from. Actually rented a house from my aunt back in the day. Kind of cool seeing their bus parked out there and all that stuff. And the lead singer, Evan, might lease the land directly next to this place. Maybe. It's a rumor. Good news pulling up. We put creep feed in our feeder down there, and you can see the calves have found it. So now we can start feeding them regularly and know that when we put the feed out, they're gonna find it. So that's good news. We'll open up our gates here and drive in there. Hope we don't tear anything up too bad. So I think we put it in the last video. I took the drag and I drug out our hog damage. If you're kind of new to the channel, we had really bad pig damage. I don't know how many pigs came in. I would guess around 5 or 6 sows, babies, and a couple boars. Well, the sows don't do, the mama pigs don't do damage that's bad. They do, apparently they do the damage that's a little bit more superficial to the top of the ground, but the boars do really bad damage, and they dig really deep. When they root, it's really deep in the soil. So I hooked up to our drag a few days ago and started dragging out that pig damage, and it actually turned out really nice. But what's got me worried is that we don't have all the pigs caught. We caught 2 boars. A sow is deceased thanks to a guy with a rifle and a thermal scope, but I don't know where the rest are. And the guy with the thermal setup came over the other day and said he thought he saw a big pig running down one of our hills, and but they never saw it again. So it's a little worrisome that we're trying to remedy their damage that they've done, and they're just going to come right back and enjoy that turned over soil and do it again. There's a baby. There are the calves eating out of the creep feeder setup. It's going to be muddy enough today that we may have to put it in 4-wheel drive. I'm very thankful that the calves found that feed. We're going to have to start regularly putting them out some feed. Here's our setup. Here's what that looks like after I drug it. So go back to that last video and you'll see me dragging this. Kirsten came over and we worked on getting their creep feeder set up a little bit, and then I drug this out, but I didn't show you guys the finished product. It's acceptable. It's nothing great, but it's not near as bad as it was. I went ahead and drug out all that over there, that open spot. There was pig damage over there, and that's one of my favorite things to do, is hook onto that drag and take off and drag poop. Dragging out the cow patties is so fun. It's so relaxing and it's rewarding because you see the benefit of your labor. You know that is just free fertilizer, and you're helping your ground. I work with a guy who just bought 40 acres, and we were talking the other day how rewarding it is to work on your place, and it's fun talking to him because he's kind of at the very beginning of buying cows, and he's trying to figure out what he wants to buy and all this stuff. So the blessing of owning property and you know, having animals and stuff is very rewarding. It's very frustrating at times, and it's a little bit of economic uncertainty a lot of the time, but it sure is fun. So we're gonna go put out this hay and find the cows and check on them. We're coming up on our really bad pig damage that we're probably going to mess with this week. Come drag it out. You can see this is the work of probably 2 boars in 1 or 2 nights. They can do this kind of damage. All you animal lovers out there, I totally get it, but don't support the pigs. Everything to get rid of the pigs we can do, we need to do it, because they're only causing a lot of problems. It's gonna really have an impact one of these days when they make it to, they come up from Texas, now they're in Oklahoma. When they really, you know, get bad in the farmland in Iowa and all that stuff, maybe they won't have enough cover to survive up there, but they got enough cover in Oklahoma. They're doing a lot of damage. Trying to find a way to get down off this road I'm on. There's the road we were on, and it is just a mud pit. I'm coming down a little embankment. I like feeding down in this low spot because not a lot grows down here naturally. They built a pond. They built that road we were on to haul the dirt from the pond to a well pad, and they kind of left this down here very not optimized for growth, I'll put it that way. The soil was very just dead, clay, nasty stuff, and so I try to feed hay. That way I'm getting all my cow poop and leftover hay and stuff down here to hopefully one day it's decent enough soil to grow something. We have been blessed with some incredibly mild weather for the month of February. It has been in the 70s. I think we got up to 85 one day. It's pretty crazy stuff. So we got the gnat bale put out. We're gonna grab this other bale. I like to feed them up. There's a hillside that runs like that, a ridge. And I like to feed them up there because there's a lot of grass up there that they need to be eating on. But it's gonna be muddy. More pig damage. I think the solution may be enough private people get the traps out that we help the government have an impact. If you don't know, you can talk to the USDA. The USDA does have trappers that trap nuisance animals like pigs, like beavers. I think coyotes, not sure, but they do have some assistance for that stuff. Guys, we may not make it up this hill. But if you're having issues with all that stuff, I would be reaching out. I mean, whatever county you're in, I'm sure they're gonna have some form of help, but it may take us doing a lot ourselves to really have an impact. That cow's a little thin. She's been over at another place. I think in the last video we caught her. She's got a big calf on her. It's time that calf needs to go somewhere else. I think we're about to start having babies, so that's exciting and scary all at the same time. Hey, if you guys like family farm content, hunting, fishing, land improvement, home improvement, all the country life stuff, make sure hit that subscribe button. Let's get back to the video. Coming up here to the top of this place, you can see where they're been eating on this hay bale. We're gonna try to scoot it over a little bit. Scoot our feeder over. May have to hook onto it with the forks and drag it out. Oh, and we're spinning. Spinning ain't winning. There we go. It's warm enough that I turned that air conditioner off in the tractor, and I'm starting to feel like I'm in a little bit of a greenhouse effect here. Getting warmed up a little bit. Alright, so my net wrap's a little bit messed up because I drug it on the ground some, but we'll cut the rest off and get it off of there. So, something with this net wrap, something that might save you a little money. If you're feeding hay with the tractor, if you're feeding net wrap, always check around your wheels. I lost a seal. I was losing oil out of my, I can't remember what they called it. Right next to my wheel, essentially, there's oil, and I was leaking from there. And it was because a piece of net wrap had got in and messed up my seal. I can't remember how much it cost. I think it was about $2,000 to fix that seal. So always check the front end of your tractor and make sure you don't have any net wrap wrapped around your wheels or anything like that, around your back. It can become a very dumb, very expensive problem very quickly. Cows don't look like they're too interested in coming up here. I'll get them down to the bottom of this hill, holler at them, get them down there. We got to look at that cow. Last video, we gave her a shot. My first thing I've ever given a shot of Draxxin. Draxxin is a powerful antibiotic. She had pink eye, and I want to see how she's doing. Hopefully she's doing better. There's Bull. What are you doing? Here's that cow, 9444 is her number. Can't see the eye. Girl, I just want to look at your eye real quick. There's more up close and personal pig damage. She stays fat. Don't make me chase her all the way over here. It's not good. It's got one of those ulcers. Maybe getting a little bit better. Looks like there's not as much drainage. Said it before on here 100 times. I'm sorry to repeat myself, but we got some new people, and we had a really bad pink eye outbreak. We haven't had pink eye in 10 years, and we had it this year, and it was really bad. So all the rain, all the flies, tall grass really did a number on us. She's the last cow that we're dealing with it with, but we got a few calves that they're recovering from it, I'll put it that way. So go over here and check on our liquid feed real quick. We feed liquid feed for mostly the convenience, and it works out fine for us, but like right now we couldn't get down to it because the road's so muddy and all that stuff. Number 50, are you enjoying that? She don't want no part of being on camera. She was a pink eye case and she's recovered, so down here licking on it. Uh-oh, I don't know why this cow's down here in the water. Woo, come on! You just getting a drink? Why are you all the way in the water? She may be about to have a baby. Her bag is pretty tight. Little worrisome when they're in the water. It usually means they have a fever. They're hot. Like there's no reason for her to be hot today. It's pretty, not super warm. It's a little bit warm. It's hoodie weather. That's what Kirsten and I describe it as. It's hoodie weather. You're not hot wearing a hoodie, but you're not cold either. And we've been getting a lot of rain. We got a little bit of rain last night. We got a lot of wind. So kids have been sick. Our youngest has been sick. The temperature's doing this right here really, really hard on the cows and hard on us. Oklahoma is kind of notorious for it, so not always the best thing. Let me walk up here and see if I can see anything going on with her. I didn't see anything super noticeable about that cow that would make me worry about her other than she was standing in the pond. Came over here to look and see about our calves. Number 18, he's a nice big calf. 21. See if they ate all their feed. That's awesome. So I think I'm gonna start feeding them. You know, I got 10 calves here. I'm gonna start feeding them about 100 pounds a week. I'm gonna have to do some math. I think that would be a few pounds a day each. Well, let's see, 2 pounds a day would be 20. Take that into 7, it'd be probably, I'd need more like 150 pounds a week. Not super knowledgeable on creep feeding. Probably just gonna stick with two bags a week, 100 pounds a week. You guys, another day, another dollar. Kirsten and I went to the orthopedic doctor for her foot today. It is very much broken. They took some more x-rays, but thank goodness, just gonna be a boot. The doctor said she had about the best break that she could have, that it just heals on its own. They don't need to do surgery, so that is awesome. They gave her like a more less cumbersome boot, more like a sandal with a flat bottom, and she's gonna be wearing that for a while. We got to go back in 2 weeks and get it looked at again. We are headed over to get some hay, put diesel in the tractor, and I think we're gonna hook onto the drag again, start dragging out that big area of pig damage. You guys follow along. And I figured out the radio I was complaining about. If you got a Kubota and it won't come on with the tractor. Take off that little faceplate. There's a reset button. I hit that reset button and it's back on, so awesome. This is absolutely one of my favorite things to do. Drive around with the tractor and listen to that jingle along. It's not perfect, but it's such a huge improvement from what it was. And I've even had a idea while I'm sitting up there in the tractor. Look at all this nice bare dirt. I've got a bag of spring cover crop seed from green cover seed that I had left over from last year. I think I'm gonna come over here and either broadcast it by hand or bring the drill over and plant this in that green cover seed spring cover crop. It's not perfect, but it's a huge improvement compared to what it was. I had suggestions, and we appreciate you guys every time you comment. We love hearing your thoughts. Had a suggestion, take the skid steer bucket or the tractor bucket, drag this out. I think that would work, but I think it would take longer. I'm getting 12-foot passes on this. Now granted, we're not able to eat into it all the way, but I just don't know if I could drag the bucket over all this stuff and get it as level as it's going to be with the drag. I could be wrong. We're definitely going to have to take either the tractor or the skid steer because I got a lot of damage underneath fences. Obviously I can't drag underneath the fence, so we're gonna keep on keeping on. I'll show you guys what it looks like when we make a little bit more progress. Well, this is probably where we're gonna have to end the dragging for the day. I got some other things to do, but let me show you what we got done. Huge difference. So we've got, I'm gonna guess about 60-70% of it dragged out. What I've been doing, I've just kind of been making a circle, and so there's spots over there that are drug out, and whenever I get to go this way, you can see I'm running this way right now. Whenever I get to go like that, it's gonna really make it smooth. But this is really rough stuff that we're into here, so I'm very happy with what it's turning out like. Looks like a nice seed bed to me. Looks like something I ought to come broadcast some seed onto. Maybe with those pigs coming doing this was God's way of helping me aerate my soil, and maybe they pooped in it so I got some free fertilizer, who knows. We're gonna unhook from the drag, take it to the house. I got to run to town and run some errands. So we just dropped Quaid off at school. We're gonna grab the soil probe, then we're gonna go over and start taking our soil samples. Been thinking a lot about how we can get lime here, how we can get it spread. I've called it's a guy and his son, I think, and I've called them before about spreading lime. I called them yesterday and the numbers no longer good. So I think I can have lime hauled in from an hour away and they'll dump it, and then we'll just figure out how to spread it. The other thing I'm worried about is getting a semi turned into our place. So just things we're gonna have to figure out once we find out how much it is. The other part in this is we probably should wait and see if we get selected to be in that program. We don't want to go pay for it if it can get paid for through that. So we're gonna get our soil tests and see how bad a shape our soil is in, and then go from there. We're gonna start on the north end and work south, and we've got 3 fields basically that we want to get. More hog damage we got to repair. One thing I forgot to get was like a screwdriver to get the dirt out of the probe once we take the sample. So my thinking is I don't want to find a spot with a bunch of grass in it. I want to find like a bare spot. Go down and get your core sample. Knock it in the bucket. I don't really think there's a point in going, golly, a foot deep. We're not tillage people. We're no-till people. So, I mean, we can just build up our topsoil layer. That's really what we're trying to do. We'll just walk all around, walk zigzagging till I meet Kirsten at the other end here. So I've talked to like the soil conservation people before, and they said that they've sent people out to get soil samples, and for whatever reason the people felt like they needed to get really good soil samples. That's not really the case. I was told this by the guy that sent, it was an older lady. He sent her out to her place to get soil samples because she was in like an EQIP program where they would come in and lime and fertilize once she got the sample. What he told me was she went out to her corral where there was a whole bunch of cow poop, and she did her samples out in her corral where obviously like you're gonna have like really good dirt, and they got her soil samples back and they were just, it looked like it was the best place on earth. And when you do that, you're not going to get any help. So I would avoid cow patties and corrals for taking your samples. You really want to get the worst places. That way, when you come in and lime and fertilize, you're improving those places at that rate. That makes sense? Okay, so we got our bucket of dirt. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mix it all up. We're gonna fill out one of our soil sample bags. We'll put it in there, and this will be field number 1. And then we'll move on south. That'll be number 2. Then we'll come back to the northwest. That'll be 3. Then we'll go home. One side of the creek will be 4, and the other side of the creek will be 5. So these were all like clods, you know, like cores, and I got a little ahead of myself and I started mixing them up just by hand. This is nice because there's some moisture in the soil and it's not super hard to mix up. You just want that average. You want the average of your property. That way, you know, you're not under treating the low spots and over treating the high spots. We want a good average, huh, girls and boys? Get back, bull. Get back, bull. Get back. So this video is brought to you by Bank First. because Kirsten did steal their pen, and that's allowing us to do this today. So we're gonna do routine, and we're gonna do micronutrients, I guess. Micronutrients and organic matter. What do you think? Bull gives his approval. How do I mark? I don't know. I don't see like a field, you know, where it would say like field 1 or whatever. Oh, sample number 1. And I'm freezing Kirsten to death right now. Guys, y'all aren't supposed to be doing that for like another 5 months, you goobers. Or May, however far away that is. Number 25 ain't got no cubes. Can you get out of my face, bro? Well, I'm pretty happy with that sample. So, a little drawstring. Now this is all through the OSU extension office, and I watched one of their videos, and they said that you could put them in a plastic bag, like a big Ziploc bag. Okay. The whole place because pig damage everywhere. So same thing, routine. Now guys, if I should be doing more, I'll show you the options. Micronutrients, organic matter. And this is sample number 2. Another thing, I don't know what crop to put, because this is pasture. If I get guidance, see that's how they look. Kind of like dirt Lincoln logs. So this down here should really be the best dirt on the place. If you look at the soil map, and you can get the online soil maps. There's an app called Hunt Stand that I've seen it on that has a soil map. I'm sure you guys that are real farmers, you guys like in Iowa and stuff are probably paying people to do this. You probably know a lot more than we do, but we're just trying to improve our pasture. Maybe grow some winter pasture. But I feel like lime is kind of the missing thing, definitely, that we're missing. Probably a lot of people are missing, because like in Oklahoma, it's really difficult to find people spreading lime and people selling lime. There's some places that sell pelletized lime, but not a lot of ag lime. And pelletized lime, at least here, is quite a bit more expensive than ag lime. So, put a nice little slip knot in there. All right, off to the last one. Okay, so just got our soil test dropped off with the OSU extension office to test the routine test, the microorganisms, and the organic matter. It cost us $30 a test. I think that's worth it. It's going to take about 2 weeks, and we'll kind of find out what what our soil has got going on. If you're in Oklahoma, I'd strongly encourage you to hook up with your OSU extension office. I didn't know everything that they can do, but they can do a lot of stuff with water. Like I started asking them about our ponds, because I'm probably going to want to put lime in the ponds, and they said that they've had a pond specialist. He was there forever. He's retired, but they're going to have a new guy. So
If you want to build a bass pond, you can even go to them and talk about how to make your bass pond better. So a lot of opportunities. Whenever we figure out what's going on with our dirt, I'll let you know.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, make sure subscribe, like, do all that stuff. Drop a hype if you want to. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.